welcome to another political dialogue program. This week we have very important guests from South Africa. KHRAG Co-Chairs, Leader Mahmoud Patel and Fazela Mohamed will be with us today, and we will talk about the latest developments in Turkey as well as the peace and democracy call of Kurdish leader Mr. Abdullah Ocalan. So I would like to welcome first of all my guest here, Fazela Mohamed. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Mahmoud Patel, thanks for accepting that interview. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Comrade Erem.
Thank you. I would like to start with Fazela. Dear Fazela, as you know, the Leader Abdullah has made a call, a historic call for peace and democracy in Turkey. So in your opinion, what were the impacts and reflections of this call? First of all, let's start with that.
Well, I think, in politics, there always has to be a negotiated settlement in the end. We will, I think that one of the things we in South Africa, we also realize that a struggle, especially against a very strong opponent, cannot only be won militarily. You have to, at some point, decide to seek a solution, a political solution to the question. And I think that in this case, it was necessary to actually call for a way forward in the resolution of the struggle of the Kurdish people. I think it was a strategic move to force the Turkish state to actually, to undermine their narrative that the Kurdish people do not want peace. So Ocalan's call for peace is quite strategic and very important in the resolution of the Kurdish question.
Thank you, Fazela. I will be continuing with dear Mahmoud. As you know, the Kurdish movement has made a historic step forward and laid down the arms. And it has done with a ceremony in front of the whole world cameras as well. So lately, as a second step, the Kurdish movement also took back their forces from the ZAP area as well. So the Kurdish movement is showing the good intention, goodwill for to build up a peace process. How should the Turkish state view these goodwill efforts made for peace, and what is your call to Turkey to take step forward in this case?
Erem, the next stage, or the stage after the withdrawal of the fighters and so on completely from places that they were in Turkey. After October, the announcement, Sabri Ok has spoken, and he has made it clear that the next stage, as well as what Leader Abdullah has said, is about the law. It's about legality, anchoring the process, establishing a transitional legal framework, adopting legislation needed to secure peace and democratization by the Turkish state itself. Establishing a commission is a positive step in that direction. But the positive step must also ensure that in its legal process, it starts to unhinge and to dismantle legislation so that the release of Abdullah Ocalan can take place. And like Nelson Mandela, who in South Africa could lead the process, Abdullah Ocalan must lead the process. So the law itself must become and be fertile, like the apartheid state rescinded apartheid era legislation to open the way for democratic processes. So if Turkey wants to be sincere in this round of negotiations for a political settlement, as well as the commitment that has been shown by the Kurdish freedom movement, it needs to democratize the law, ensure there's a transitional legal framework, the release of all political prisoners, because this time, unlike in the past, the de facto partners of the AKP and Erdogan, the MHP, have also voiced support for the process to go forward. So the rewriting and restructuring of existing law or statute is required, which Abdullah Ocalan referred to as democratizing and integrating laws and the freedom of law. So solidarity and fraternity must be sincere from both parties. So the commission just doesn't only remain a symbolic structure, but a structure that's meaningful going forward after the second commitment to the faith to go forward has unilaterally been done by the Kurdish freedom movement.
Thank you, Mahmoud. We'll continue with you, but if you can keep it a bit short answer and to the point, it's very important that you mention about the Mandela and the process in South Africa. So how did the peace process operate in South Africa at the back of the time? What are the similarities and differences with the current Kurdish struggle? As someone who experienced this process in South Africa during Mandela's era together with the Judge Essa Moosa, we would like to hear your experiences as well. We will ask the same question to Fazela as well because she is experienced with that as well. So if you can answer that one very briefly.
Everyone recognizes that only free men can negotiate. So firstly, unlike South Africa, you have your leader, who is the person that represents the Kurdish freedom movement, still behind bars, and prisoners, political prisoners from the Kurdish freedom movement who are there for over 30 years. Unlike South Africa, they have not been released. In South Africa, like the Turkish state that's belligerent and powerful, we had a nuclear power that we overcame politically to gain our democracy. But that strong power realized that it needed to get all the key role players on the negotiating table. So that is very important in this process going forward. Yes, there are other similarities, dialogue, negotiation, ensuring that there are decisions made where both sides have the mandate of their supporters and their people. There needs to be more transparency in that. In South Africa, it was a transparent process where everybody was involved. From the United Democratic Front, NGOs, citizens on the ground, it was a collective effort which the leadership then articulated. So that is very crucial going forward post the second stage phase.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Fazela, how do you see it from South Africa, the peace process in Turkey and Mr. Ocalan's call as well? So what is the similarities with the process in South Africa, which continues in Turkey as well? How do you see the similarities and differences? Very shortly.
Yes, so I think that one of the key similarities is the demand for a democratic process and for to build democracy in South Africa. That was a foundation of the struggle for freedom. And what happened was, I think that's very similar to the call made by Comrade Ocalan. And I think that that is a kind of a link between the two nations. As Mahmoud said, our processes, and I think a negotiation process is primarily about trust between the parties. So as much as the Kurdish movement, moved a peace forward in the peace process, I think that the Turkish state is also incumbent on them to actually show good faith and to create, so part of it is for the release of Ocalan and all political prisoners. I think also a public commitment for free democratic activity for all people in Turkey. So I think that there needs to be public commitment to show that this is in fact the way forward for a new democratic society. And that commitment must come from the Turkish state. And look, we know from our own processes, there's always, not to say that the negotiations are easy, there's always, the oppressor always finds ways to undermine the democratic process, to undermine the peace process. And for that, what you need is ordinary people to stand up and commit themselves and to come out in support for a peaceful democratic solution and for the just solution for the Kurdish people.
Fazela, according to your experience about the peace process in South Africa, what should the Kurds need to pay attention right now? Very shortly, please.
Okay, so I think quite importantly from our point of view is that, so there must be mechanisms to, and as Mahmoud said, underlying all of this must be a transparent process. So when you have a parliamentary committee, don't bury the information on the peace talks. Demand a public, open process. Then I think what you need is public demonstrations to support the peace process and the demands of the Kurdish movement. Because I think, the other side will only give you as much as you push for. They're never going to give you freedom on a plate. You need to understand that. So I think that on the one hand, there is a peace process, and what everybody is saying, there's a commitment to dialogue and negotiations. So all parties must show their commitment. And I think from the Kurdish people's point of view, that can only happen through public support for the process and public support for the demands. So the demands are the release of free political activity, which actually must be then entrenched in the law. So as Mahmoud said, you need to make a legal process for that to happen.
Thank you, Fazela. Dear Mahmoud, just to wrap everything up on this topic, to summarize all of these, what needs to be done from this point from now on? Very shortly, that one as well.
Firstly, the establishment of an inclusive democratic leadership. It needs to be decentralized. It needs to include all the political actors, primarily Abdullah Ocalan, Leader Apo, as well as the other political key prisoners have to be released as soon as possible to give credibility of what steps have been taken on the side of the Turkish state, however minimal they are. It needs to do this to gain the trust going forward. So it's legal, it's trust, it's democratic, it must be inclusive, and there must be a release of political prisoners. Otherwise, we're going back to 2013 and what ended in 2015.
Thank you, dear Mahmoud. Dear Fazela, Leader Apo, legal right. There is a legal right called right to hope. It's a very important issue. This right to hope is a legal right. Mr. Abdullah Ocalan hasn't been already benefiting from this legal right. And could you address the urgency and the importance of fulfilling this right? Because it's very important for his freedom as well. And so along with this, what would be your appeal to the Turkish state for enforcing universal human rights for Abdullah Öcalan as well, very shortly?
We know, Mandela was in prison for 27 years. You can't close, I think the fact that they even considering a negotiated process is clearly a recognition that the leader, Apo, is the recognized leader of the Kurdish people, number one. Number two, they need to ensure that his freedom is actually arranged immediately, so that will enable the Kurdish people to be properly represented in talks process. And I think that, as Mahmoud said, it is only free men who can negotiate. This is what Mandela said.
Okay, thank you. Dear Mahmoud, your messages are always to the point and they are bold. So I would like you to give a message to Abdullah Öcalan. He might be able to watch this program. What would you like to tell him?
Our partners in solidarity remain firm and committed with you because you will be free sooner than many think. And it is the optimism, as Gramsci said, of the will and not pessimism of the intellect that has moved your people, your supporters in solidarity internationally, your great friends from Judge Essa Moosa, those who were with Madiba, the messages that Madiba sent you. Please remain firm and convicted on the principal positions for your people, as well as the Turkish state and the region, and your legacy as a great leader who stood firm and principled for the freedom of his people. And you have inspired and continue to inspire millions, not only in Western Asia and Turkey and Syria, but throughout the world.
Thank you so much, dear Mahmoud. Also, very shortly, very briefly, many people, as you follow as well, they are saying that the freedom for Öcalan will be a solution for the problems in Middle East as well. Very shortly, with a sentence, what is your freedom for Öcalan message?
The message would be simply stay firm and stay committed.
Okay, thank you very much. Dear Fazela, let's take your message for Mr. Öcalan as well, first of all, and what is your freedom for Öcalan message as well?
That, you know, the Turkish state tried to lock you up and lock up your ideas. But what has happened is that your ideas and your commitment to democracy has spread. Your ideas have spread right through the region. And you will continue to inspire people, and we look forward to your release urgently.
Thank you so much. Is there anything I didn't ask, anything you would like to add on, dear Fazela?
Look, I think that the Kurdish people must brace themselves for a long negotiated process, but also to set timelines. You know, what we did in our country, we said that between this time and that time, the following things need to be done. And I think because what will happen is we don't want to stretch out this process. Comrade Ocalan is quite, you know, he's reached a good age. And I think we need him free sooner rather than later. So there must be some deadlines for the Turkish state to release him immediately.
Thank you so much, dear Mahmoud. Floor is yours. Please have your last words. Anything I didn't ask, anything you would like to add on?
We look forward to meeting Leader Apo when he is free, including all the others that are there with him. But more importantly, until that stage reaches fruition, unity must remain supreme with all those who are struggling for freedom and democracy. The political environment today, however fragile and uncertain, carries elements which distinguish it from past attempts. Perhaps most surprising was how the MHP came forward, and that alone tells us that there is a shift, no matter how little, on the other side. And in order for that leverage to continue from our side, we must remain united and committed so that we can see a people that will ultimately also share in the fruits of what is to come in the future.
Thank you so much, dear Mahmoud Patel, KHRAG Co-Chairs, Mahmoud Patel and Fazela Mohamed from South Africa. You share your experience in South Africa peace process, and you are highly experienced, both of you that work with the Judge Essa Moosa and Nelson Mandela as well. It's been an honor to have you on these screens.
The honor is all ours. Thank you, Comrade Erem.
Thank you so much. We came to another political dialogue programs, and this week we had very important guests from South Africa who has been working together with Nelson Mandela and Judge Essa Moosa as well. They share with us the experience, their experience on South Africa peace process. We talked about the similarities and the differences with the Kurdish struggle, Kurdish freedom struggle. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to us. We will see you on the next political dialogue program.